What if I told you today that trying to change too fast is one of the reasons why you might be feeling stuck right now? We've been sold to this idea that transformation has to be huge, has to be fast, has to be immediate. But the truth is, your nervous system actually hates this approach. Real growth kind of works like nature, where it's small, steady, but it's actually full of surprises. I'm going to be sharing more on why small steps can actually create lasting change in your life. Hi, my name is Eva. I'm an intuitive healer. I work with two modalities. One which is based on working with the Akashic records. It's called Soul Element. And the second one is called Quantum Flow, which is all about using breathwork, sound, and movement to rewire your nervous system and help you release any deep-seated wounds, trauma that might still be stuck within your body system. But more on this at the end of this video and how these two modalities can be a game changer in your growth, in your transformation, in your healing journey. I love starting my videos by sharing my lessons of the week, and my lessons of the week actually ties very well into this. It was a reminder by a friend of mine that sometimes we tend to be really hard on ourselves, and we don't tend to actually celebrate the small incremental steps that we've made. Actually, literally beginning of the year, there's a lot of things that I've been working on this year, mostly deal with mastering discipline and all of that. And sometimes it's when you're so focused on attaining such a goal and then you're like, I'm still not there yet. You can be so focused on that to the point that you actually forget all the work you've done thus far. And my friend just reminded me that, hey, you need to take time to actually celebrate what you've actually accomplished so far. In my mind, I really thought it wasn't that big. But compared to when my friend just said that you really need to stop being hard on yourself, I actually sat down and reflected on literally how I started my year and where I am right now. And honestly, even if I'm not where I desire to be, because that's what I was measuring myself with, I still made a huge progress from where I was even last year, a time like this, until now. There's a huge difference. Let alone even last year, even beginning of this month. So sometimes we tend to forget that when we're so focused on we have to attain a certain goal, we tend to forget all the work we've done so far, and we forget to celebrate ourselves for that, regardless of how small we might judge it. Because sometimes we're told by society, if you haven't attained that particular goal, maybe you're manifesting a certain amount of money. If you haven't manifested that goal, then you failed. And that's not actually the case. In the meantime, before you've actually manifested that huge goal, there could be a lot of wins that you're not even celebrating for yourself because you're so focused on it has to be that. And really taking time to celebrate yourself for the small steps and truly express gratitude can actually help you in your journey to attaining that particular goal you're aiming for. So don't forget to celebrate yourself. That was my lesson for the week. And I want to know how you've grown in the last 1 week. What are the new insights? What are the new lessons you've tapped into? Do share in the comments below because you never know what statement, what word you might actually share that might be so inspiring for someone else because we're here to learn and grow with each other. And even if it's not now, you never know. Someone could be tapping into this comment in the next couple of months, couple of years, who knows? And that sentence will actually be a game changer in their growth and healing transformation. So do share, don't be shy about that, okay? So back to this video on why small gradual steps actually do create lasting change. And I want you to think about it like this, when you have a car engine, right? Maybe you're revving up a machine or something like that. When you want to go to a speed of like 100 or 200 kilometers, I don't know what the car terminologies are, but let's say you're going from 0 to 200 miles and you want to do that instantly, what will happen? Probably you will end up blowing that engine. The car might actually end up overturning because it's too much, too fast for that engine. And that's literally what happens with our growth and transformation, especially with our nervous system, with our body. When you're trying to do so much, and in the outside, it actually looks like good. Okay, I'm attaining this result, like really fast and all of that. But your body, if it's not designed to handle that level of new vibration, it might actually end up being more detrimental to you. This is what most people don't know. They end up burning out way before they even achieve the results they want. Or sometimes they'll even achieve those results, but they're not lasting. because your body, your nervous system was not geared to handle that vibrational state of being. So again, I want you again to picture that engine when you're trying to push it to go to that maximum level of the highest speed, you're gonna end up destroying that engine. Is that what you want with your life? I'm sure whatever you're working towards, you don't want it to be to experience it for just a couple of days and then boom, you go back to where you were, or even worse. Again, look at the car that ends up turning over or the engine ends up blowing, which is way worse than how you started. And I'm sure if you're watching me, that's not something you'd want for your life, right? You want it that once you attain that goal, you actually get a moment, some time, not even a moment, that you actually get a long period of time to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Would you not want that for yourself? That's not going to happen when you're trying to do so much, like, putting so much, it has to be this, because there's only so much that literally your body can handle, your nervous system can handle, your vibrational state can handle. It can't handle that much. So those small gradual steps, even though sometimes they take longer than we might have anticipated, they actually end up serving you way more in the long run compared to that fast, immediate change that you're looking for. I mean, we've seen cases of, and I'll give you another example. You end up seeing someone who's been and I want to use like body weight as an example, right? I've seen examples of people who were really at that heavy, really heavy set, and then they work on their, what is it called, losing weight and all of that, and all of a sudden, you know, they go from being that whatever state into a smaller state of being, right? But then they end up having the loose skin because their body, that change was just so much for the body to handle. So the resulting effects of that is the loose skin hanging because, yes, it was good that they lost the weight, but their body was not ready to. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. And this is literally what can happen when you're trying to do too much. Yes, we want those fast results, and you could get those results, but at what cost? So if you haven't prepared your system to handle that new vibrational state of being, again, picture this, you are going to get there, but you're not going to get to enjoy the fruits of your labor because now you'll be creating a whole new set of problems for yourself. So those small incremental changes that might even take decades. And here's what I've discovered that most people, the reason why they get so frustrated with the small changes and they just want to go from 0 to 100 quickly is because it takes too long. It requires so much patience. It requires so much consistency, right? So when we see these people on social media who have, maybe this perfect bodies, we're like, I want that. I want that right now. I don't want to go to and wait for years and years to get that body. I want it now. So I'm gonna go put myself under some maybe even life altering um procedure that might should have been maybe unnecessary for you. You end up putting yourself under that just to attain that dream body of yours. But then you find that something goes wrong during that medical procedure, and then boom, your life is forever ruined just because you lack the patience to wait just a little bit, to put in just a little bit of work to get you that dream body. Most people don't have the patience or the resilience to actually do that. So we assume that these things we see with, these successful people, that we assume that they went from 0 to 100 like that. They had this overnight success. They had this dream bodies, dream careers, dream amount of money in the bank account, the cars, and all of that. We see that on media because we tend to know of these people once they've attained that level of success. So what are most people doing? You're comparing yourself to someone who's already had years on you. You're just starting out right now. So most people, because they want to get that success so quickly, they're willing to sacrifice everything else to get that success. And you are the person I'm talking to right now, because this message is for you. Small gradual change, again, do not underestimate how powerful that can be. Yes, it will take longer, but trust me, the person you become in that journey is going to play such a huge role into how long you're actually able to maintain that desired state of being. Because yes, you could attain that amount of money in the bank account, okay? But you get there, and since you were not prepared mentally to have it, it actually ends up being a curse in your life. And I'm using curse, quote unquote, right? That rather than actually taking you to the next level, it actually ended up being worse for you. Ended up, losing friends, losing relationships. Your life became even worse just by attaining that amount of money. And I'm sure you've heard of cases of that. That people, yes, when they were a different person when they didn't have the money. Then they get the money because they were not prepared for it. How they handle it is not so wise. So thinking that the only problem was getting that money, that once they got the money, the problems would be solved. No, it actually ended up creating more problems for themselves. And that literally applies to any area of your life. If you haven't done the process, the the systems and put the systems to actually help you be able to handle this new vibrational state of being that you're calling in, it's gonna end up being worse for you than you are at the beginning. And I'm sure you do not want that for yourself. So again, small gradual steps that yes will require persistence and consistency. And here's what happens with growth. So there are days you wake up and you go from 0 to 10 like that. Then on the 10th step, boom, you fall down. You have to come back again, start again and again. Literally, this is what happens with any kind of success. It's not like a straight linear thing that, you just went 0 to 1 to 2 to 3, and then everything was smooth. No, at least that is not the reality we live in. There are many pitfalls in between, but that's literally what makes the journey interesting. It makes for a good story at the end of it all, right? And even when you're looking at the success stories, if you actually sat down to listen to what had to transpire to get them to where they've been, like it will actually amaze you. Because we all assume that, it was just they dreamt up this idea and then boom, 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 they, bought the right material, had the right kind of resources around them. And then within a couple of months, they're already attaining that success that, you guys are getting to view. That's not always the case. There are so many pitfalls, so many challenges, so many moments where you're going to face the more you're like, you know what, I'm tired. I'm done with it. You're going to face so many of those moments, so many challenges that will make you want to just throw your hands and say, I'm done. But what actually separates the successful people from the ones who don't achieve that level of success is the fact that they're consistent and persistent and downright stubborn to get to that success. So, regardless of how many times they fail, yes, feel bad, no problem. Be hard on yourself, judge on yourself, because again, you're human. But don't let that be your defining moment. Yes, you're human, so you will feel bad when that happens. But by all means, you wake up, dust yourself off, start again. And that can happen even 100 times. But the ones who actually get to that level of success that you admire and make it last are the ones who kept on getting up. Because with every getting up, guess what? They're actually getting stronger and stronger, which means that probably before when you started, if you fell down, it probably would have taken you a couple of months to recover from that. But the more and more you get up, you find that months turns to weeks, turns to days, turns to hours, turns to minutes, literally. And you'll see that progress happen along the journey. And I'll tell you, even for my case, I mean, so many things that I've been, working on ever since I started on this journey. And for sure, my growth, my transformation didn't happen linearly. So many pitfalls. But I tell you, same thing I was telling you at the beginning of this video, where I look back at where I started this year off and where I am right now, different. Yes, I'm not where I wanted to be, but there's a huge difference. How many people can actually be honest with themselves at this very moment that whatever goals, whatever intentions that they had set for themselves in this year, that they've actually started working on that? Most people started and then after 2, 3 weeks, boom, back to the usual, back to what they were doing in the last couple of years, back to the normal routine and forget their commitments to who they wanted to be in this new year. So I'm talking to you. Doesn't matter how many times you're gonna fall off the wagon, you get up and you start again and again and again until you get to that point, regardless of how long it takes. But the more and more you do this, remember, maybe you fell at the 10th step. The next time you're gonna fall at the 15th step. The next time, maybe at the 20th, maybe at the like it changes every time. But again, the more and more you get up and you keep showing up, the easier that process of recovery will become. And soon enough, you'll even get to a point where you don't have to keep on falling. Now that falling won't be as often as possible. Okay. So that's what I want you to have in mind. So let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section. What do you think about this? And what are you currently working on in your life? And let me ask you, what intentions did you have for the year 2025 and how far along are you on that as of this moment that you're watching this video? Or even if it's not even in 2025, regardless of which month, which year, which day you're tapping into watching this video, let me know what have been your intentions thus far and how far along are you on your journey. Did you fall down? Did you forget what commitments you made to yourself? And what steps can you take right now that will get you right back on track? Share in the comments. Let's learn from each other. Let's support each other. Let's help each other grow. Let's help each other get to that goal, whatever goal, because not everyone is dreaming of the same dream. But let's help each other, support each other, be each other's keepers, right? Get to that place that you are aspiring to be. Thank you so much for tuning in. Do subscribe to my channel, share the video, like the video, comment down below to just help me get to as many people as possible. I do love your support, and also share what kind of topics would you love to hear me talk about. I'm here to serve you. So do share in the comments, reach out to me, Facebook, Instagram. You can find the details in the description box down below. I did promise I was going to share at the end of this video how the two modalities I am working with my clients, soul alignment and quantum flow, can be a game changer in your growth and transformation and also healing journey. So I'm going to share my screen because I have a beautiful program, a one-on-one coaching program I have right now. So I'm going to be taking you through 6 weeks with me. First week, we're going to start with a soul alignment reading where we're really going to be diving deep into the root causes of whatever experiences you've had right now. Remember, you cannot heal what you don't know what you're healing from, right? You need to be aware what it is that is creating the kind of experiences, the kind of people you're attracting. And with soul alignment, we're actually getting to the root cause of that. And I'm actually going to be sharing with you during this session how to get past that and what new choices, what new things you can start tapping into that will start creating the long-lasting results I was talking about. So that will be the first week. And in the next 5 weeks, remember, healing is just not working on the mind. Remember, your body also holds a lot of trauma, a lot of memory. And when you're only working on one aspect of your being, which is your mind, and not incorporating anything else, guess what? Yes, you will eventually heal, but you find that the growth and the transformation will take longer than necessary. So with quantum flow, we're combining, ancient techniques right now. We're going to be using breath, movement, and so many other things just to help you rewire your nervous system, rewire your body. Not just your body, we're going to be working on your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual level, energetic level. We're going to be targeting all these areas with this beautiful technique and helping you really attain your highest level of being by releasing everything that's been blocking you from becoming this person. So again, we're going to be doing that. I'm going to be sharing with you powerful techniques you can tap into every day to help you rewire your nervous system. So remember, quantum flow is not just a one-time thing, something you have to constantly grow, because guess what? All the trauma, all the emotional wounds that you have, you didn't just happen by them just one day. You didn't create all of that memory within your body in just one day. It's something you've been doing ever since you were born. For some of us, even when we were in our mother's womb, we recorded some of the negative vibration that probably our parents or whatever was in our environment when we were still in the womb. That actually gets recorded. within your nervous system if you don't know. Some of us are suffering trauma that may not even be your own, something that you picked up based on the caregivers who are around you. So you're gonna be working on releasing that, and that just says it doesn't happen in one session. I wish I could tell you like, boom, I can wave a magic wand and make that disappear, but like I said, small gradual steps. But believe me, doing this technique on a daily basis is gonna take you. So, in fact, you will receive or you'll start noticing shifts within the second, third week of doing this process. Trust me, you will start seeing if you're committed to doing this process on a daily basis. And again, it's like 20, 25 minutes commitment daily. Probably the time you will take to scroll or on social media or do something that's not even constructive. Just doing this practice and committing to that for the next couple of weeks, and then talk to me after those weeks and tell me just how you will be showing up in life, because something is bound to change. So, who will this program for? Let me share my screen just to share with you what and who I am calling in with this particular program. So, if you can see the screen right now, if you're feeling stuck in repetitive negative patterns, whether in your finances, relationship, or health, struggling with self-identity, experiencing constant roadblocks and challenges, difficulty understanding why certain relationships or situations seem to repeat, there's a reason behind that. And it's so relevant, actually. We're going to be getting to the root cause of everything that's on the screen right now. With quantum flow, it will be a great fit for you if you're struggling with any of the things listed on the screen right now, experiencing mental fog constantly, experiencing, struggling with chronic anxiety, experiencing chronic pain or physical tension that, yes, can manifest as long as you've been carrying a lot of this trauma within your body. Okay? It can actually manifest in form of chronic pain. So when we're doing these practices, we're going to be releasing some of the physical tension. Of course, we're going to be keeping in mind that we're not trying to do so much that might actually be detrimental to your physical health. So we're going to be keeping that in mind. But the more and more you release the root cause of this, you might find that will also impact your physical well-being. So difficulty controlling emotions, feeling disconnected from your higher purpose. I mean, there is so much you're going to actually help to release with this particular program. So if you see yourself in any of that things that are listed on the screen, I'm going to invite you. Maybe you might have questions for me. You're like, is this a fit for me or not? If you're not sure, scan the QR code on the screen or check out the link down below where you can book a discovery call with me. 15 to 30 minutes discovery call again. Not like there's any commitment or I'm going to force you to sign up for this program afterwards. Just really to gauge if I am a good fit for you as a coach, if this program will be a good fit for you. So I'm going to invite you to book the discovery call with me. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions just to determine where you're at, to gauge if this program will be a good fit again for anything that you're struggling with. If not, wish you love and blessings as you head on to whatever system might work better for you. And if it is, I do look forward to being your coach and your witness in your healing, growth, and transformation. So I look forward to seeing you on the other side. Sending you so much love and blessings. See you on the next video. Bye for now.